Welcome to our Magenta's Patient Care Management Lunch and Learn. Thank you all for joining us. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land on which we stand. Here in Boorloo, Perth, this is the Whadjuk people. I also pay my respects to elders past and present. I'm Fiona Burnett, Customer Training Team Leader for Magenta's Practice Management. Today we will be focusing on managing incoming documents, navigating the process folder, achieving more with the Gentu Mobile App, and discussing multi-factor authentication. Following the presentation, I'll be joined by Olivia McCarthy, our National Customer Training Manager, Alan Lim, Magenta's Practice Management Trainer, and Sian Barnes, Gentu Support Officer for Q&A. We encourage you to participate and make the most of the opportunity to ask your questions on the topic. Simply locate the Q&A box at the bottom of your webinar screen, type in your question and click Submit for your question to be sent to our moderators. Feel free to submit your questions at any time during the webinar, and we'll do our best to address as many as we can during Q&A. At the close of the webinar, we invite you to spend a couple of minutes completing our survey. We are keen to tailor these sessions to what resonates most with our practices, and we do value and encourage you to leave your thoughts. We hope you enjoy our presentation today. We'll start by looking at managing incoming documents. When a patient presents to a medical appointment, they can arrive with their referral, results, and other documentation. As their health journey continues, documentation extends to include information about their ongoing care. Practice organisations are required to have systems in place to safeguard patient healthcare information. From a compliance perspective, this means that practices are required to keep patient records in a secure manner that preserves patient confidentiality and that is in line with your board and legislative requirements. For patient safety and care, accurate and timely patient document management ensures correspondence, results, and patient care documentation is available to healthcare providers when it's needed. For efficiency and coordination, a well-maintained process of receiving and storing patient documentation is required. Gentu has streamlined the process of managing incoming documentation. So let's take a look at the different scenarios and see how the process is made easier using Gentu's inbuilt functionality. Managing diagnostic reports. So Gentu is integrated with a number of pathology and radiology electronic delivery service networks, allowing practitioners to receive pathology results and radiology reports directly into Gentu. The benefits of this include the secure delivery of the results and reports directly into Gentu. Within Gentu, the integration is a seamless method of connecting to laboratories and clinics, meaning no extra or additional software or additional configuration is required, as well as the ability to go paperless, as you can access the results wherever you are, from within Gentu on your browser or within the Gentu mobile app. Now, the integrations with organisations that are available to your practice depends on the state in which you are based. So if you head over to our knowledge base and search for electronic results, you'll find the list of integrated partners that are available to you. So how does this look in Gentu? Firstly, navigate to the side menu bar and select Results and Letters. Here you will find the tab for the diagnostic reports, where received results and reports can be viewed, assigned to a practitioner, linked to a patient, and marked as reviewed. Let's look at some examples of how these incoming reports can be managed in Gentu. Start by clicking on the result that you wish to view. The patient profile icon shows an automatic link to the patient. If you're ready to mark it as reviewed, click the button on the right. If the suggested patient isn't the correct patient or there is no patient marked, you can use the search button to select an existing patient or create a new patient record. Then link that result to the patient. If you need someone to action the result, you can then use the dot point icon to send a task to other practice staff. Here we see the result being sent to another practitioner. You can change the date of the task or mark it as urgent. Once the result is linked, you do not have to mark it as reviewed. However, it is best practice to do so. Now let's look at incoming correspondence. Click on the letter to display and review the content. Gentu will auto-match to a patient for you, so if the suggested patient is correct, you simply select it. Otherwise, you can create a new patient record if needed. You can create a task if something needs to be actioned by another staff member. In this example, we're asking Dr. Demo to review the letter. You can mark them as reviewed if no further action is required. Continue going through the individual incoming letters and correspondence, either linking to existing patients or creating new patient records as required. If a patient does need to be contacted, you can do so then and there from the incoming documents screen. In this example, we are sending an SMS to the patient, acknowledging their referral and requesting them to contact the practice to make an appointment. Onto the process folder. The process folder can be found in the same results and letters area in Gentu. Navigate to the process folder tab at the top of the page. Process folder is a recent addition to Gentu and is used to upload, link and process files to patient records in bulk, meaning you no longer need to search for and open individual patient profiles and upload single patient files by using the add attachments method. It's important to note that Gentu can only render certain file types to be previewed within the patient file. So if you receive a document in Word format, for example, be sure to save it or print it to PDF format first. Any unsupported document types are still available to be saved to the patient record. However, viewing the files will require downloading of the file first and opening from your computer rather than within the Gentu patient record. Let's view the process folder in action. Using the Upload File button, click Choose File or drag and drop to select the attachments to import. Multiple files can be uploaded in the one step. Once loaded, you can review each of the files by selecting it. And once you have determined the correct patient, place a tick to the left of it. You can also change the relevant category for each file. Click on Link Patient to match to the desired patient. You can also create a task to advise your staff to action this particular document. For example, booking in an appointment for the patient. Click on Process Files to link the attachments to be visible within the patient record. Continue reviewing the files and repeat the process. If the patient doesn't yet exist in Gentu, you can create a new patient record directly from within this screen. Once completed, click on Process Files. If you determine that some files don't need to be added or loaded into a patient's record, tick to select them and then click Delete. The great thing is that the files you upload to the process folder don't need to be actioned straight away. You can work through this list based on the time that you have and always come back to it when you have a moment. Achieving more on the go with your Gentu mobile app. The Gentu mobile app is compatible with Android 13 and above and iOS 14 and above. All current Gentu users have access to the Gentu mobile app via the Android Play Store, Google Play, or the iOS App Store. Search for Gentu Mobile. Alternatively, you can scan the QR code that is presented on the screen to take you directly to the app. We welcome you to download or open your Gentu mobile app to review the following sections of the presentation along with us. You'll also get a recording of this presentation so you can review the steps at a later time. Once you open the Gentu app, you log in using your usual Gentu credentials. Bear in mind the address field, the email address field, is case sensitive, so you'll need to enter your email exactly the same way as your usual Gentu web login. If you're part of the Gentu mobile app beta, please bear in mind you'll need to reinstall the app to access the latest version, as there have been significant changes implemented, as we're going to see in the slides ahead. If you experience any challenges, please reach out to our support team for assistance. Gentu mobile app now supports a multi-practitioner appointment book, giving you better oversight of patients, bookings, and schedules for individual providers. Under the appointment book option, you will see the provider's name at the top of the screen. Click the provider name to be presented with the provider's list, and then you can select the appointment book you wish to view. The appointment book in your Gentu mobile app will update responsively. In the Patients area, you can click the plus to add a patient record. Patient profiles can be created directly within the Gentu mobile app. Enter the patient's name and date of birth, and you can also attach files using the paperclip icon. Access from your photo library or take a photo using your camera. This is simple and easy patient creation on the go, with the new patient record and attachments being available within your Gentu database within seconds. Another available option within the app is reviewing incoming results, so long as your permissions allow you to do so. From the results area, you can review the details by clicking into a record, and then you can search for or create a new patient to link the result to. The results can be marked as reviewed, meaning all required actions have been taken. Again, the ability to mark those results as reviewed will depend on your current permissions. Permissions for users can be reviewed within the security area of your Gentu web database. Another option within the results area is to add notes and tasks if required using the green button. Tasks and notes that have been added to documents will appear at the top of the result. Along with these recent developments, we have more exciting features coming through very soon to the mobile app. Some of these new features include incoming letters to be included in the patient clinical files, viewing and creating notes and tasks on incoming letters, the ability to review incoming letters within the patient clinical file, viewing the patient's next appointment will be available when viewing a diagnostic report, and choosing a PIN code for a quick login. Multi-factor authentication. We have recently upgraded to a new multi-factor authentication, or MFA method, to provide greater protection against cyber attacks, as well as to ensure a more seamless and secure login experience across all devices that are accessing Gentu. Whilst we all use passwords to gain access to our online accounts every day, passwords on their own no longer provide a suitable level of security. Multi-factor authentication offers significantly more security and protection against cybercrime by requiring users to present 2 or more proofs of identity before being granted access. Having an extra step may seem inconvenient at first, but it is important to remember that taking shortcuts leaves your system more vulnerable. Navigate to the settings area in Gentu on the web to enable multi-factor authentication and to be guided through the configuration process. Search our knowledge base for MFA, as that also contains additional information you might require on how to set it up. Once enabled, when you next access Gentu, you enter your login credentials as per normal. After that, you'll be presented with a window prompting you to enter an MFA code. This is when you will launch the separate Authenticator app on your device, which will generate a secure login code. Type the code into your field in Gentu and click Login. If your user credentials like email and password details are stolen or made available widely, having multi-factor authentication enabled means another point of proof of identity is required prior to accessing your account. This brings peace of mind to the patient and the practice data and that you are carrying around with you. If you need a hand in this area as you're stepping through the process, you can click the I Need Help shortcut that's available from within the Approve Your Sign-In Request screen. Brings us to the conclusion of our presentation today. If you need further guidance on any of the topics that we have covered, we have many different avenues you can connect to the Magenta's practice management team. The easiest way to start a conversation is to use the live chat or web form options, both available from our website. We have the knowledge base with lots of helpful articles that can guide you step by step through different facets of Gen2. We enjoy presenting the Lunch and Learns so you can get the most out of your platform. And we have tailored learning options available. On-site and remote options are available. We hope you enjoy the new format of the webinar that we presented today, including the walkthroughs and the guided steps. We hope this is of value to you. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and have learned something new through our presentation today.